Good evening, and here we are again to the Masked Cricketer, number 4. Can't believe we've been doing this for a month now. It's really gone quite quickly. We're getting about 200 views a week on the Masked Cricketer, so thank you for tuning in, either live or watching it afterwards. And we're going to do certainly another one next week. Always on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And of course, anybody wishing to be a masked cricketer, please get in touch, private message, and we can see what we can do. A couple of things coming up. Obviously, Dave Freeman's the internet's most amateur quiz on Friday night. Still enjoying that, so please tune in to Freebs on Friday. He may be doing some others as well, although I believe he's got a little bit busier, so it may be just the Friday. The Saturday sports show again will air from 4 o'clock by kind permission of oxfordcityfc.co.uk. Click on the live commentary. We'll have information on there on one or two items, certainly involving cricket and other sports. It's been good fun over the last 2 weeks. If you've tuned in, hope you've enjoyed it. Please tune in again this week if you can. I've obviously got dressed up for the occasion tonight. I've been in makeup for pretty much the whole day, as you can see. So I've made a little bit of an effort. And even my nails are done quite well. I don't know if you can see those. They're quite good as well. Quite pleased with those. And I have got a guest presenter tonight again. Welcome to someone who, again, needs no introduction. So I won't give him one again. But Kieren's got some sad news to start the event tonight. It is sad, and I'll pass over to Kieren with that info.
Yeah, thanks, Darryl. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another one of these Masked Cricketers. Yeah, some really sad news that I learned this evening. Some of you will know him from the 1980s and the 1990s, a former teammate of mine, a far better cricketer than I ever was. But Mike Kerrville, who played some over 50 games as a wicketkeeper for Oxfordshire over 50s back in the late 1990s, very sadly, we learned today that he's passed away. He was suffering from dementia, quite a long illness, and very sad to hear that he has passed away from that battle. If anybody wants to visit my Facebook page, there is a link there to a Just Giving page that's been set up. They've already raised over £250 to go into research for this horrible condition, Dewey's body dementia, which is similar to Alzheimer's. Mike Kerrville was a wonderful gentleman. I always remember, I remember first and foremost, one of the best innings I ever saw when he played for Minster level. He scored 130 odd in short time. And I always remember with him, very similar to a certain other wicketkeeper that we know, liked to talk a lot behind the stumps. And particularly, he wasn't a sledger, but he used to admire batsmen's bats and just talk to them, get in their ear and put them off. And more often than not, it led to wickets. And quite often, even with my poor bowling, it led to me getting wickets because the batsman was so distracted. He'd walk out of his ground while I fired down a leg side wide and got lots of stumpings. He was a brilliant wicket keeper, a really nice gentleman, and yeah, really sad news that I've learned tonight. So as I said, if anybody knows him or would like to donate to a Just Giving page that's been set up in his memory, just visit my personal profile on Facebook and there's just follow the links, and rest in peace, Mike. I'll be having a pint for you tonight.
Well said, Kieren. Rest in peace, Mike, for sure. So sad news to start proceedings tonight, but hopefully we can sort things out, because I'm going now to put our Masked Cricketer on the screen so we can start asking a few questions. And let's say good evening to our Masked Cricketer tonight. Looking swell, looking really the part. Good stuff.
Just a little thing from me, Darryl. Just in case anybody doesn't realise, I don't know who the masked cricketer is, so I'm playing along as well. You will not tell me. You never tell me who it is. So I've got a guess as well, and I think that he's better dressed up than you. You look very much like Sue Pollard tonight, Darryl. A very aging Sue Pollard from Heidi High. And my first guess would be, is it Ronald McDonald, possibly? But
my sister-in-law's just come on and said hello, Joy, which is my mum's name. So she's obviously saying I'm looking a little bit like my mum. Perhaps too much lippy, I don't know. Good evening, Eric. Nice to see you. Alex Ferreira, nice to see you, buddy. I hope things are well with you. Always good to see you, Freebs. Yeah, good. Thomas Gould. Good to see you. And Matt Bambridge, nice to see you. I hope you and Becky are well and things are going well in Bristol at the moment. So our first question is again from Dave Barney Freeman. Has the masked cricketer ever played at Great Chew? No, not played at Great Chew. So good one, Eric. I like that. Yeah, I'll see you later, darling. I'm going to ask the question: do you play in the OCA? Looking like that, I think you must do. No offence to any OCA cricketers watching, of course. All said in jest. Kieran's not happy on that one. Kieran's not happy. Good stuff. So, do you play in the Cherwell League? No, doesn't play in the Cherwell League. Good stuff. Okay. Nice to see you, Leslie. Good to see you, Michelle, Ollie, Clarky. I hope you're well. Hope things are going well. Things are going back a little bit to normal, possibly. Hopefully that continues as we go through the next few weeks. My next question, are you male? Yes, he is male. So that helps the situation a little bit. Looking for any questions from the public tonight. Feel free to put your questions on Facebook Live so we can pass that on to the masked cricketer. Kieren, have you got any questions there at all?
I've got one that's just come in. Do you play outside the county?
No, doesn't play outside the county. That's a good question, like that, Wardy. Good one. Okay. Thanks, Michelle. I picked it out myself. The lipstick. I thought it suited my eyes and my complexion. So thank you for that. Are you a batter? Yes, he is a batter. Nice to see you, Paddy. I hope things are well with you, buddy. Ground's looking really good at Oxford Downs, by the way. I have to mention that. Stan Lake is looking good and fit for playing. Really is. All marked out and ready to go. Be great to see that. Good to see you, Kingy, as well. Nice to see you, Tom. Do you play in the Home Counties Premier League? No. Okay. Interesting. Does not play in the Home Counties Premier League. Okay. So we've decided that you're a batter. Have you ever bowled at all? Ish.
He's got a pad. That's good.
That's good. I can't read that one.
Kind of, I think it says.
Kind of. Right, cool. Kind of bowled in, before. Okay, that's good. So I'm just trying to think. You're not outside the county. You're a male. You're a batter. Are you a opening batsman?
Not really.
Not really. Okay, not really. That's my colour blindness. I can't see it on the card. Well, somebody's saying all-rounder question mark, but we're saying not an all-rounder. That's a no for the shake of the head from the masked cricketer. Okay.
Here's a good one. Here's a good one, Darryl.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a proposition or not, but are you married? It probably isn't because it's come from Michelle Charlesworth, so I'm sure it hasn't. It's not a proposition.
No, he's married. Not married. Nice to see you, Simo. Glad to see you on board, mate. I hope things are well. Still haven't had any feedback after the Ben scenario and Ben and me taking the mickey out of you a little bit, but good to see you on here. Not too close. Am I getting too close to the screen? I apologise, Kev. I apologise for that, young man. I don't want to scare any children or small dogs that are watching, so I do apologise for that. Did I take it then, if you're not playing inside the county, is it the feeder league? Do you play in the feeder league? Yes, you do play in the feeder league. Okay, that's a good one. Like it. Okay. Kieren,
yeah, I've got a couple. Are you under 30 years old?
Youngster. Yeah. Nice to see you, chappers. Have you ever played for Cumnor?
Ooh, can't read that one.
No.
No.
It's a no. It's a no from him. Okay. Are you Max Smith? No, you're not Max Smith. Good shout, Wardy. Thanks, Simo. I'll wait with trepidation with your comments. Thanks for that. Just to reiterate, guys, obviously you can see scrolling down the bottom the Just Giving page for the Masked Cricketer show. The two charities are the Lord Taverners and the Oxfordshire Mind. If you can jot down that Just Giving page and donate, that will be absolutely fantastic. And of course, if you just want to donate to your cricket club, then please do that as well. That would be really good. Okay. Finchy, I hope you're well and the cast is still nice and pink with loads of writing on it. That would be good. Are you a right-handed batsman? No. Okay. Probably means you're a left-handed batsman. Yes. Okay. Cool. Are you... Ooh, that's a good one, isn't it? Paul Taylor, good to see you, buddy. Got any questions there, Kieren? Is there any others?
25 viewers. We have got, are you over 6 feet tall?
Yes, he is over 6 foot tall. Bit of a local question there coming through. Do you play for the Downs?
It just says the greatest club in Oxfordshire, not the Downs.
Yes. Yes, he does play for Oxford Downs. Obviously a colleague of mine. Good stuff. Wow. Right. I'm sure the guesses will come firing through now. Kieran's excited. He seems to know who it is. We'll wait to see if anybody actually says. Have you had any representative honours? Yes, he has had representative honours. Okay. Have you ever scored a double century? No. Okay. I'm guessing by the picture in the background, just guessing, you might have an association with wine. Yes. Okay, I think this is narrowing it down. Nice to see you, Rich Howitt. Hope all's well with you. Are you Tom Cosford? Don't think he bats left-handed, Wardy, to be fair. Are you Matt Warner? No. Are you Tom Cosford?
I've got a question. Do you have a favourite umpire? Yeah.
Is it John Finch? Love it. We're guessing. Are you George Sandbach? There he is. George, welcome. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thanks for doing this.
My favourite umpire.
Bit hot under the wig, George, was it?
Yeah, warm.
Okay.
Cool.
Real. Brilliant. George, just a few things to go through and ask you loads of questions. Hopefully we can get some good questions coming in from the public as well. Just from me, I mean, who's actually inspired you in cricket? Is there somebody particular, or is there a few people that's inspired you? Who would it be, do you think?
Yeah, I think really school. I mean, I was lucky enough to go to private schools. I went to St Hugh's and Cheltenham. So yeah, probably my two coaches at Cheltenham College. So Martin Stovold, who's sadly passed away about 7 years ago yesterday, I believe, and Mark Bryars. So those two sort of at school really inspired me. But my family have been playing cricket for years, and I've been playing at Downs for years. So yeah, probably my two coaches from that age really sort of taught you the mental aspect of the game, and having no excuses, and everything's in your own hands, which is sort of what they've taught me. If you get out, it's your fault. It's not anyone else's fault. Those sort of things they've taught me over the years, which was great. And I still speak to Mark Bryars quite a lot. So yeah, those guys really.
Brilliant. Who's your favourite batter of all time, George?
I just love Butler. I mean, de Villiers is up there. It's the 360 cricketers that I love. Jadeja is good. They can sort of play all sorts of shots and turn it on. Big fan of Dhoni. I just think the way he finishes matches is great. His temperament. He doesn't rush. If he has to chase 12, 14 over in the last 5, he's not bothered by it at all, which I love. I'm obviously I like whacking the ball. Don't really like taking my time with it. So it's the more aggressive players and the 360 players. And someone like Butler, I used to be a bit more conventional when sort of Butler came along and played these shots. I sort of developed those shots a bit more as well. And it's a big part of my game now. So yeah, I love that style of cricket.
I'll just add to that then, George, because I know you played racquetball, didn't you, quite a lot up in Manchester, I believe, if I'm right in thinking that. Do you think that has been a massive help to your hand-eye coordination and obviously your cricketing shots?
Yeah, massively. I mean, there's Sam Northeast and Sam Billings were good rackets players. There's quite a few. All the good rackets players are good cricketers. Lots of them got first-class careers. So yeah, massively. I mean, the ball is racket, so it's like a big version of squash. It's not racket ball. It's like harder, faster sport. So ball whizzes round and it's going 150 miles an hour, and you're getting right up court. So speed really, for me, isn't the issue when it comes to cricket. I quite like fast balls. Shot selection is a different matter, but it's about the pace. So I used to play a lot of that. I used to be a pro in Montreal and then the pro in Manchester. And yeah, I think it really does help you when my technique's not brilliant in either sport, but you get away with it if you're brave enough and you watch the ball. And it's that same thing with head position in both these things. If your head's in the right place and your head's over the ball, then you'll get away with it. So I think that's a big thing is your head position. So yeah, I think the speed of the ball helps because I'm facing 100. If I'm on the racket court, the ball's going 140 miles an hour. So if someone's bowling 90 miles an hour, it's fast and it's coming up a pitch, but I'm not afraid of being hit, which is a big help to me in my cricket game.
Yeah, I've seen it at pace, that game, and it's amazing to watch actually. And I'm sure anybody wanting to take that up, it would help their cricket. I'm convinced of that. Kieren, I know there's a few questions coming through. Do you want to just add to?
Yeah. Hello, George, your favourite umpire here. I didn't know who it was, but as soon as you said that, I knew. So there's been a few actually. There's a couple of really good ones. One's a real sort of catch-22, but it's a good question, so I will ask it. So Wardy's asked, what's the George Sandbach thought on what we should do for restarting club cricket? That's a really tough question because obviously at the moment we're in a little bit of a state of flux. But what would you say would be a good way of restarting as and when we can?
I've been thinking about it a lot actually. And I think the best way is almost the league give the clubs the opportunity to run our own fixtures. So we're not going to get league cricket. I don't think it's going to happen. Being realistic, if we're being honest. And there's lots of ways we can. I think going forward, the clubs need to survive and financially benefit from everything, along with the players playing. But the main thing is the clubs survive and get through it. I'm lucky at being at a club where we do quite well financially because we've got a good bar and we've got a big local community around us. But having mini tournaments throughout the maybe end of August, September, October, having T20 tournaments. So you have, Oxford Downs play Aston Rowan and Cumnor, for example. You play on the Saturday and the Sunday. You have 3 games. On the Saturday, you go to Aston Rowan or Cumnor, 3 games there. You get everyone from all the clubs to go to those clubs, support the bars financially. You have a mini cup at the end, great. And then that happens at 4 or 5 different clubs, 4 or 5 areas. So Banbury will play Oxford and Tame, for example. You might have Shipton playing with Whitney Mills and someone else. And then you can go through the season doing mini competitive cricket, which is important. Friendly cricket's not really going to get the juices flowing. So competitive cricket. So the players get what they want out of it. There's still something to play for, a trophy-wise, which could be an annual trophy at the end of the year. You get the clubs financially in the black, and the spectators get what they want out of it. It's going to be so hard for the home counties, the Cherwell, the OCA, Thames Valley, to coordinate to get a fixture list out, and it's impossible. And I'm pleased I'm not in their shoes because it's going to be very hard and there'll be a lot of demand. But I think the 2 things is, one, cricketers get some competitive cricket that are missing out, but the main thing is that the clubs are financially supported, and the best way through that is via the bar. And I know a lot of people donating a lot of money to these clubs, which is great. I know Aston Rowan have a big thing this weekend on, which we're helping out with. But that's the key. There shouldn't be promotion relegation. That should just be scrapped for this year. It's a shame because something we were looking forward to do. But look, there's worse things in the world going on at the moment than league cricket and promotion relegation. So as long as everyone can come out of it surviving and no clubs going under, then I think that's a win.
You've actually you've made a really good point there, George, as well. So you mentioned T20 is possibly the way. Now, the plan would be, from your perspective, then, to try and extend the season into September, October. So actually, T20 would probably be the way because you can probably get, even in October, 2 or 3 games in one day, couldn't you? If you start at 10, you could go on till 6. You could probably get 3 games and make it worthwhile.
In county cricket, we play 2 games from 9, then we start again at 2. But you can get 3 games in. You can also get more than 11. So you can have your team of 11, and then you can sub in 5. So there may not be a huge amount of third-team cricket unless they want to arrange their own games, which is awesome, and that's hard to do. And I get there's a lot of. It's very complex, but at least you've got some cricket there for the clubs to survive, and then you can look at making 3rd-team and 4th-team cricket in other venues when there's spare days. Tuesday night cricket, Thursday night cricket. Again, 2020 I think is a way to to do it. When it's more entertaining, people come to the bar. You know, I know at Downs we have the pyrotechnics and music that's good fun, but just about keeping the clubs alive, really.
Yeah, that seems to be like a really good sort of really good idea moving forward, actually. And as you say, although we're in a sort of state of moment where we don't know when we're going to start, I think promotion relegation, most people in the country are saying that's out of the question, really, isn't it? There's no point if it's half a season. There's no point because you can't judge a season on sort of 8 or 9 games anyway, can you?
No, and if you take last season for example, I mean, who got promoted halfway through the season were 5th or 6th. So it's some people are good at 50 over cricket, some people are good at time cricket. It doesn't make sense, and I think no one's sort of debating that point. I don't think so. That's fine. Yeah.
No, good stuff, George. Quite a few new people actually watching tonight. Bucky, all the way from down in New Zealand. Yeah, good to see you, Bucky. Hope you're all well and everything's okay over there. Willie P from Langford, nice to see you on board. Waz Mahmood has come on board. Heard you were on, I think, George. That's what it was.
Oh.
Trying to secure his place in the first team, obviously.
That's probably why we got
spinner on here.
Great stuff. Actually, somebody's asked, what cricket training have you been doing in the lockdown? Have you done any at all, George?
Yeah, loads. I've been running a lot, so not on 5Ks. 5Ks are quite relevant. Not as many as Kieren, I believe. But yeah, 5Ks are good because I think it's a good distance. I think it's relevant cricket distance. You're keeping a fast enough pace that you're trying to beat your time. It's a 20-minute session, so it's quite good for cricket. I've had a couple nets with my brother. Hoping to have some tomorrow. Get it down. So I think we're allowed to now, aren't we? So within your household. So yeah, not a huge amount. A bit of garden cricket, but not a huge amount. If I'm being honest, I got other things to worry about for now. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to having some nets soon. It'd be nice.
Good stuff. I should just mention at this point, Sarah's training has gone well. She's moved on to the bowling machine and actually decided to carry on with the bowling machine when I was on a call yesterday for about 40 minutes. So she's been really keen in getting on with the bowling machine. She's really enjoyed that. So that's something that may well appear on Facebook very shortly. Somebody's asked, what fun baking have you been attempting during the lockdown? Have you done any baking, George?
No.
That's an easy answer. No baking. No baking at all.
No, I haven't even cooked. I think I've ordered a curry once. Got my mum and my brothers to do the cooking, which would be nice. No, sadly not. No baking.
George, I think I mentioned at this point because somebody's asked a particular question, and I'll just sort of pan it out a little bit. Obviously, running the wine bar and wine cafe and the piano bar has obviously been, real difficult time over these last 7 or 8 weeks. How's that worked for you? And my sister-in-law's actually, Leslie, has asked, what's your favourite wine? So if you...
Favourite wine? Well, favourite wine is... Oh, I've got it here, actually. It's called the Sophia. It's from South Africa. This is very expensive wine, but that's my favourite wine of all time. It's a Bordeaux blend from South Africa and Sandbach. Delicious. Work-wise, yeah, look, really hard. We've obviously got Sandy's in town, Sandy's on the Move, which is an events company, and we opened a new bar in Chelsea in London 3 weeks before coronavirus, which is not great timing. So yeah, it's been hard. Sort of the first 2 weeks were crisis mode, having to work out how to keep the company going. The big thing at the moment is rent reviews from landlords. We'll see. I realistically, I don't see live music venues opening up until next year, January. Realistically, I know people say July 1st, but that's not going to happen. So it's working out how we're going to sort of survive from there, and then with social distancing, it's going to make it very hard because for those of you that have been to Sandy's, it's a good atmosphere. It's full. It's good fun. But if you can only get 25 people in there, then it's it's bizarre. So it won't really work. So we'll have to take it step by step. Every 3 weeks we get an update. I've started a new sort of concept, like a wine called Chatting Wine podcast on iTunes and Spotify that I'm doing quite a lot to get more. I've always been in the wine trade, but now more so, which is nice. So I'm doing podcasts every day with people around the world, from Australia and America, New Zealand, which is fun. Sort of working on that, and kind of seeing if I can diversify going forward, because hospitality is going to keep taking a hit for a while. Just a waiting game, really.
We had a little conversation yesterday in prep for today, just to make sure that technology was going to work. And you were working in the wine cafe, having sort of wine up on some tables to sell and for people to come in and purchase. So you're obviously doing everything you possibly can to keep things ticking over, which looked quite good, actually. It seemed quite a few people were coming in.
It gets me out of the house, and I've got some work to do, so I can do my work in between, and it's just nice chatting to people. The reason you go into hospitality isn't to make a load of money; it's because you enjoy it. People coming in, having a chat to them, and we don't make a huge amount of money, but it's nice to get out of the house and better than doing nothing. So, just a bit of a waiting game.
One of your good mates has just come on. Johnny Law is in the building.
What do you say?
Good to see you, Jamie Coles, as well. Wezza's on board. Nice to see you, Wezza. Hope all's well with your family. Kieren, have you got any other questions coming in?
Plenty of questions. There's a few comments as well, George. Your one of your favourite old teammates, Eric Darryl Woods, has just said, George, can you possibly say something remotely interesting? A bit half, actually. I think that's I think you've been quite interesting so far. So
lovely.
Another one, because I've actually got my own little watch party going today, as well as Darryl's thing. I don't know how that. I didn't mean to do it. I just pressed the wrong button, actually. So, but anyway, I've got a watch party. God knows how. So Richard Giles has said, it pains me to say this because I'm not a fan of the 100, as you might know. He suggested, what would your thoughts be? So you mentioned about T20s and into club stuff. What would your thoughts be about having, if we can get out there early enough, sort of an 8 to 10 team T10 competition or something like 6-a-side, just something to keep it going?
It's probably a stretch too far. I think we need to keep things simple enough that there's not too much admin. And with 6-a-side, it becomes a bit harder. I mean, you want to get as many people playing cricket as possible. With 6-a-side, you're limiting the amount of people that are playing. So the more people you can get playing, the better. I think T10, I mean, I don't know. T20 is short enough. I mean,
you get
T10. I mean, I wouldn't say no to playing it, but in terms of organising it, I think people would just be interested in playing T20 because it's long enough that you get everyone have a bat. At T10, if you're batting at 6 and someone gets 70 odd, then you're not batting. So T20, at least everyone can have a bat. I mean, everyone will collapse at some point, so everyone have a bat. And at least bowl for. Sorry.
Well, plenty of questions coming in from various sources. We've had nearly 30 people watching Darryl as well, which is impressive. That's the most I think we've seen. So a couple of really good questions have come in. One of them is, obviously you played in the Cherwell and you got promoted as champions from Oxford Downs. The difference, in your opinion, between top division of the Cherwell and the feeder league is quite a big difference, but obviously you've experienced it yourself. So what would you say the main differences are?
I think you get, bowling wise, I think you get, in Cherwell League you can get, I think, one bowler that will trouble you a game. I think in home counties 2 you'll get two bowlers that will trouble you a game, or really make you work hard. I don't want to sound too disrespectful, but I think that's the difference. I think, and in Cherwell League, I think people bat to sort of 4 or 5, and then home counties you bat to 7 or 8. Then when you go up a level, home counties, I haven't played home counties 1, but county cricket, kind of similar sort of thing. You bat to 9 or 10. I mean, just looking at the county team we play, and you have people like Russell White, Matt Warner, Harvey Eltham batting at 10, 11, who are proper batsmen. So you do get, I think that's the difference. It's just getting through. I mean, once you get 3 wickets generally cricket, if you've got a good team, you can keep going. And I think when we played, we played with Great Brickhill, who are sort of our strongest opposition, who have come up now quite rightly. They're a very good team. That was a team that batted lower down, like we did. But I mean, we left Div 1, went into Div 2, probably with a weaker side. We didn't have Adam Beck, our overseas pro. We lost Johnny Law. We lost Harry Sutton. So we probably went in with a weaker team. And I think if we kept those people, it would have been a different story. We've obviously gained 2 very good players in Tom Cosford and Matt Warner. So we were looking to be promoted this year. Yeah, I think the difference is there. And I think Becky and myself got quite a lot of runs in Div 1, which helps. And he had 2 very good bowlers in Harry Sutton and Johnny Law. So I think if we kept that and then added a couple of players, it would be interesting. But I think the difference is, I think one, you bat longer in home counties too, and you have probably an extra bowler who troubles you, which means you can't target as many bowlers.
And moving on from that, actually, George, 2 other good questions coming in. So it might be a bowler because obviously you're predominantly a batsman. The best player that you've played against and the best player that you've played with, and you can't say Darryl Woods for either of those.
I don't think you'd say that anyway.
I know.
Against was this chap called Joss Butler, who plays a little bit of cricket. Played for him against. Well, I played for the Free Foresters against him against Somerset. Twos, mix of 1s and 2s. Game where we nearly got him out first ball, turned down, and then he went on to get a cool 208. In a 1-day game. So he was pretty good, not bad. Playing with, do you know what? Last year I played with Ed Young from Gloucestershire, who I think is a good cricketer but a great tactician. Very, very unlike the most. I mean, he's very non-arrogant at all. Very aware of what he does. He's a very good all-round batsman, but bowls a lot as well. Gareth Andrew from last year, obviously. Great bowler. Didn't see him by a run, but he bowled really well. And there's a few just upcoming lads, young guys who I think are really good, who are playing. But I think those are the players who I really rate. I played with Ollie Soames a few years ago, playing for Hampshire, but when he was sort of 19, sort of breaking the team. So Butler takes it for me. Quite good.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent player, that I'd say.
He's reasonable. You mentioned the Free Foresters there, George. There's one thing I wanted to, because I didn't know, I don't know too much about Free Foresters. Can you just tell us a little bit more how that works and how you play and who gets selected and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken a bit of a back seat recently in the last couple of years just because of captaining the club and playing county and play a bit of MCC cricket and with my business and stuff. But I mean, I've been playing all my life. I go on tour every year. It's great, and it starts, a lot of friendly cricket, but really good fun, competitive but good fun. We've sort of jumped a level in the last 5 years. We've always had this academy. We play against sort of like some Berkshire 2s and minor county second teams, but now we're taking a step up. So we played Oxfordshire last year. Myself, Tom Cosford, Amin Rafiq, a few other guys in the circuit played for me against Oxfordshire. We were 1-1, which was good. We're supposed to be against Sussex 2s this year and Hampshire 2s, I believe. Somerset 2s. So it's really taking the next step. And it's for a lot of players who are looking, a lot of overseas players who maybe come over to England. Richard Azar Pro has played. Freddie Smith has played. But a lot of people come overseas who are looking to be a pro, who maybe 19, 20, 21, still trying to make it, getting that exposure. If you can get 140 against Sussex 2s, you're putting yourself on the map there. So that's that. We're trying to get more and more of those games. I'm fortunate enough to be in the circuit, so I sort of scrape my way in somehow. I happily bat at 10 and not bowl, but crap on first look. But I mean, we're getting more and more of those games, which is great. It's run really well now. Has done for the last couple of years, and we're modernising more and more, and trying to get more and more players in as well. So I think there's a lot of young players in Oxfordshire, the likes of Freddie Smith and George Tate and Prav, Chahal, Luke Marsden, all these guys coming up under 17 should look for Free Frosters games, because there's Oxfordshire games coming up, but it's tough to get into that, and this is a good opportunity. I'll pick you every day of the week, these young guys to come in to play, because it's such a big opportunity, and it's just at the level as minor county cricket, I believe. You get some really good players from Australia, South Africa, New Zealand coming over, who are quick bowlers, great spinners, proper batsmen. So it's a great opportunity, and I've got a soft spot for the Foresters, but it's good fun as well.
Is it a match fee? Is it a subscription, George? Is it?
It's a match fee, and it's something we're trying to work out how to make it more affordable. It is for full members, it's £20 for match fee. For students, it's a tenner, and we usually ask for a yearly fee. We're working ways how to cut costs with this modern day. It's really hard. It's very hard to keep a club like that sustainable. We've got many committee meetings trying to work out how we can keep the club going. We're trying to modernise the club and get a few of the older people out of the club to realise actually how young people can't afford it. Firstly, if you're living in London, you've got to get a train to wherever you're going, so that's 30 quid. Then someone's got to pick you up, and you've got to get lunch. So by the end of it, it's 70 quid, which isn't right. By the end of it, it's not affordable to take a day off work as well, take a holiday day plus 70 quid. So we're trying to work out the best ways of doing it, and there's some grants and funds that are coming in, and some older members who are maybe setting up some funds for the younger members to keep going. So it's getting there, and it's sadly it's part of the cricket world that's taking a bit of a hit at the moment.
It's really good. I mean, that's good advice for some youngsters to get in contact and try and get in and play in that. So it's a really good standard of cricket there. So do get in contact with George, because I think that's a worthwhile cause. And if you're struggling to push your way into an Oxfordshire second 11 or minor county or national county side, I should say. So that's a really good bit of advice and some good standard of cricket to be played. Just to mention below the Just Giving page again, scrolling at the bottom of the page again, Masked Cricketer for the Lord Taverners and Oxfordshire Mind. If you like what you've seen, especially my makeup, please donate to those two charities. No, there's a lot of shaking the head there. I can understand that. Thank you. One thing, nice to see you, Riv, Cookie. Nice to see you, Heather and Duncan. Hello to you as well. I hope all's well with your families.
As well, Darryl, which is good to see.
Go on, say that again.
Ali Muteza, the former Cumner hero, used to smash me around. Whatever he did, but hit me for
nice to see him, certainly. And Dan Simpson, nice to see you as well. George, on your representative honours, obviously you broke into the Oxfordshire team, not really having come through the Oxfordshire youth channels, I believe. So what was that like for you, and how have you changed the way you've played, if you have, or how do you go about those national county games that you've played?
I mean, I was never expecting ever to play for Oxfordshire. It wasn't really a target of mine. I mean, I thought it'd be nice to, but I never thought I would get in. I think it's just to do it, to get runs, and I think if you worry I'm quite laissez-faire about the way I go about my cricket. I like to be relaxed. I like to be casual. I don't do tons of hits in the nets before I get out to bat. And when I am going out to bat, I like to chat to people. I like to keep it relaxed. It keeps me relaxed. And keeps me moving, less stressed. So I think for me, it works for me. Other people are different. And through that, cricket was funny because you know everyone in it. So I was relaxed the whole time. So we got a ton of runs. So home county cricket was a bit more stressing out. So I got less runs. But I think I didn't play any minor. I played, I think, a game or two in the under 12 or 11s, whatever it was, but didn't really enjoy it at the time. I didn't know anyone. And look, it's just about if you get runs, they'll eventually have to pick you. And it's giving them no option. And it's one thing getting runs in the season, but then it's just showing what you can do as a whole. What's the next bit? Something about how, and yeah, so going into playing the cricket, yeah, one thing I sort of regret doing is not having enough faith in my ability going forward. Because I wasn't really thinking about playing a lot of county cricket, I thought, oh, it's nice to be here. Like, lovely to be here. I'm not going to last. But actually, you know, I left after the season maybe getting 30 something as a high score, which isn't good enough. You know, playing eight games or so, failing every time. When actually I should be thinking, everyone going into the county setup this year should be thinking, I'm being picked, I'm good enough for this level. Not, I'm good enough for the level I'm playing and you're good enough for this level. And having faith in your ability. I had the strange mindset of thinking, well, I've got 25 here, yeah, that's probably enough. It might keep me inside. It's not about that. And you see people like Ollie Burland, who last year came in, first game, 100, you know, got hit in the head by a 90-mile-an-hour bouncer. Yeah. Third ball, going on to get 100. And other people taking opportunities, Joe Butcher getting a fiver and Matt Warner doing well. And people taking the opportunity, and Freddie Smith as well, as a 16-year-old coming, 17-year-old, and getting 30-odd. I mean, that's remarkable. So it's about having faith in your ability going forward. And I think going forward, I'm not a professional cricketer. I've been racket there, but you know, if you're picked for Gloucester or Gloucestershire or whatever it is, on my teams, it's having faith in your ability going forward to know you're good enough at that level. They haven't picked you out of sympathy; they picked you that you're good enough. So I think any of these young guys going forward who are going to get selected for Oxfordshire, if you're 19 playing for Oxfordshire, you're good enough to be there clearly. So you should believe to get your 50s and 100s, not just settling for 30.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a really interesting thing you say there, how you go about it, George, because I've obviously seen you both at club and at county level, and it's no different for you. You'll play it as you play it with a smile on your face, and I think it's quite refreshing for some of the younger guys being in the side around that sort of persona, if you like, and I think it does help. It relaxes people. So you know, even perhaps the performances weren't as good as you would have liked them to have been. I think you still actually gave something to the team, and obviously you gave a lot to Oxford Downs because you're scoring a lot of runs. So I think it will cut.
On that note, I think that's kind of one thing I try and do a lot is that if I can't contribute with the bat, at least I'm helping the other team, even not with the ball. It's keeping everyone going, being positive, helping young guys out with whatever it may be, chatting away and making new players feel comfortable. I think it's super important, just having the team. And that's why I quite like captain schools, because I like having the team together. It's all about the team win. If you fail as an individual, fine. Like, it's annoying. But if you've got a new guy coming in who doesn't know anyone, getting them amongst the team, getting them comfortable, getting them relaxed so they're not worrying about their spot. I think moving forward is having new players coming into the team, knowing their roles and feeling comfortable is super important. So I take that as a responsibility amongst myself to make sure people are comfortable, whether I'm captain or not, but to keep everyone sort of relaxed and for the team win.
It's quite interesting you say that. I've been watching the test, the Australian, following the Australians around, and Mitch Marsh didn't play much in England, but he had the foresight to say he was going to be a good bloke on tour. He was going to be the best bloke. He was going to be talking to people and keeping their spirits up. And he was just going to be the total team man. And that was interesting, I thought. I thought, fair play for somebody who was perhaps on the outskirts of being selected for the international side. But he still had presence of mind to actually say, right, I'm still going to be here. I'm going to be a part of this unit. And he obviously was. And you could see that in the film. So, it was quite powerful, I thought. Nice to see H on board, Sam Prescott, Clarkey, always good to see you, buddy. Tom Cosford, he will contribute, will chat, regardless of how good the chat is. Not really sure what that means. I thought he was a teacher. He obviously doesn't teach English, but
yeah. Tom Cosford, I don't want to take any notice of that. Garbage. Don't even go on his Instagram, it's embarrassing.
Good stuff. Just thinking about the way your cricket started. Obviously, you've been at Downs for some time. Do you just want to give us a little bit of history of how you feel about the Downs and how you came through the youth ranks, etc.?
Yeah, I've been playing there since I was 9. Been playing my cricket with Will Watts the whole time. Some of you that know Will. So yeah, we've been playing there for 20 years now. And look, my family's had a lot of connections to it. My dad played for them. My brothers played for them. My dad's chairman them. I'm now captaining them, and my family's been very much involved in it. And it's our local club, and I'm not one. I like to stay at a place. I'm quite a loyal person. Not that people move clubs aren't loyal, but I want to stay at a club and sort of move it on and have a project and take it forward. And I've got a vision for Oxford Downs of where it should be. And yeah, I mean, I love playing there. It's a great atmosphere. The locals and the members are amazing. For example, we lost our groundsman last year, just before the season started, as a lot of you may know, and we didn't have a groundsman. Suddenly, a WhatsApp group appeared of 30 people on, and there was a groundsman in between all of us, and the pitch was immaculate, proper deck, better than most decks out there. So it just shows what community we have, and it's incredible. I get people have to move clubs for certain reasons. My brother Chris did the exact same when he was about 24, a bit younger, 22, 23. Still trying to make it as a cricketer and play a lot of minor counties cricket. His job was in sport, which I know it's relevant. So he moved to Oxford, and I think at the time Richard West moved to Banbury, and Perks moved to Oxford as well. And I get that completely. Fully get it. I mean, I'm in a different position where I'm not trying to make it as a cricketer. I want to join the cricket and play at a high level. But I play with a lot of mates, Johnny Law, Tom Ward, Tom Costley, Will Watts, James Elwood, James Lauder, all these people, the new guys who have joined. I want to play with my mates, and that's kind of the environment we want to keep at Oxford Downs. We brought in a couple of players this year, but we're quite careful about who we select that they'll fit the mould. Good blokes, good cricketers, get how it works, get the system. It's about the team, about the individual. And I just think, Darryl Woods, you've been there for 10 years now. You know how it works, and the support you get from everyone is incredible. I mean, the donations we've had coming in this year is amazing, and the committee is incredible. I mean, you've got 12 people on there. You've got 10 business owners, a couple of lawyers. You've got a proper committee. I've never been part of anything like it. You've got these very intelligent people who know how to run businesses and know how to run a club, and they've done that brilliantly with the juniors, with different clubs. And it's a very impressive setup. The club looks amazing. I posted something recently on my Facebook with the overview of the club. It looks amazing. But I think the aim for the club was to have the first team in Div 1, Div 1, and the second team to be in Div 1, which is, I know, for aim as well. And there's no reason why we can't get there. We've got 2 new players come in. We've got the likes of Luke Maslin, Prav Jahar, Oliver Dunn, Freddie Smith coming up, who are going to be first team players this year and next year. So you've got huge depth, and that's our aim. And 4 years ago, being in Division 2, Division 6, pretty incredible, I think. And I'm really pleased with how it's gone with everyone. Led brilliantly by Waz before me, and then hopefully led well after me. So yeah.
Yeah, as you say, the camaraderie has been really good, and you can see that people have been playing cricket together for some time, and it just helps your team environment. It helps you get out of a scrape sometimes that somebody comes to the fore and actually works for you. So that's really good. And absolutely spot on about the ground love. Yeah, everybody helping out was just tremendous, and I think it as you say, the committee is a strong one. And it's a pleasure to play at. To be perfectly honest, I don't go on about that too often on here, but it's sorry, Kieren, but I am now.
Kieren, you love it there, mate. I know what you're talking about. You're there every day.
I'm there, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I got to be honest. Nice to see you, Luke, Powley, Will Goodman. Nice to see you guys. Just to reiterate, the Masked Cricketer show at the bottom, just giving page for the Lord Taverners and Oxfordshire Mind. If you want to donate to that, please do so. George, where would you want to be in 5 years' time, both on a cricketing level and a business level? I'm going to put that to you.
Over 50s.
Business level, Christ. Hopefully not bankrupt.
Sorry, that.
More likely. Business level, I've got no idea. I mean, I had a plan beforehand. You know, the plan was to sort of grow the bars. We had a plan 5 bars in 5 years, so would have been 7 bars. That was the aim. That's not realistic anymore. So I don't know where I'll be in 5 years' time. Business-wise, could be anything. I have crazy ideas every other day, and I pursue them pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll see. Cricketing level, Oxford Downs and home counties Div 1. I'm hopefully playing minor counties for a couple more years. I don't think it's right to be playing minor county cricket at the age of 30 or over. For myself, maybe as a captain, if not that I'm saying I'll be captain, but as a captain, it's good to have someone older in charge and a pro. But I think it should be for the younger guys who are trying to play group level cricket and make it as a pro. So I wouldn't want to be 30 years old and still taking 19-year-old's place. So yeah, being home counties 1, trying to challenge the likes of High Wycombe and Henley and that lot for the title, and Aston Villa with the title. No reason why we can't. And 5 years' time. So the club to be in a healthy position, second team to be in Div 1, third team to be in Div 4, hopefully a fourth team at the club. The ladies' team doing really well, hopefully, having a good junior setup, and still being able to hopefully have a bat and probably be banned from bowling by then.
Yeah, we didn't mention the bowling, George. Is that something you like doing and burgled about too many wickets, I think, last year?
Organised filth, they call it. Yeah, it's all mental. It's all, as a lot of you know out there, I'll just try and rush batsmen. It's terrible technique. Don't turn it at all. But it's just a mental aspect. And if I can get in someone's head, then that's 3/4 of the battle, I believe. If I can bowl it straight and I can get in your head, then great. Harvey Eltham's a great example of that. You can't handle it, which is great. And I think, especially when you get to know players a lot more, you can get in the head more. So, playing against teammates from county cricket and stuff, you can see them having to stop the game because I'm rushing them, and they'll take a minute, and then I'll wait. And then, it's just about it's a mental thing. It's definitely nothing to do with technique or ability. It's just them losing the plot.
Matt Bowden's actually said flight of filth.
Flight of filth, organised filth. Yeah, there's a few of them. I'll take. I don't mind.
I do like that statement, Matt. Very good.
22 wickets, Matt. Thank you so much. How many have you got? Cheers.
Kieren, have you got any questions coming in on your streaming?
Kieren, when are you going to umpire for me again?
Say again?
When are you going to umpire for me again?
Probably never. I've been waiting to get a word in edgeways from your Oxford Downs Love Fest, actually. So, I've got a few more questions, but I thought I wasn't going to get another chance because you were just waxing lyrical. So, 2 more questions. I'll go with this one first, and then I'll close it with a really tough one. So, did you find it difficult, or was it a difficult choice? Because obviously you're Oxford Downs through and through. Here I am talking about Downs as well now. When you had to make the decision, because obviously you had a couple of really good runs in the Village Cup, and you got through to a game in Hampshire and lost that game. Obviously, playing for Oxfordshire, you can't then play in the Village Cup. Was that a tough decision, or was it fairly straightforward for you to make that decision?
Yeah, no, fairly straightforward. I mean, I loved the BK. It was great, and I had a great run in my last year doing it. I got 400s in the 5 games, and it was great. So I loved it, and I love the competition. I really wanted to go on and play, but you can't not. I've always been told, you need to challenge yourself as much as you can in life, and I think that's the biggest, for me at the time, the biggest challenge. So you got to take it. I mean, hopefully next year I can play, because I haven't played any county cricket this year. So yeah, it's a shame. I love the BK. Was awesome, and it's more the club. It's amazing. Like the club just lights up. We had this Welsh team come down. We won in a good game, but then they stayed for hours afterwards and we were playing silly games. You were there, probably. Yeah. Umpiring. Of course you were there. You're always there. Were you umpiring?
Yeah.
Of course you were. Of course you were.
Not a fiver.
Yeah.
Got a 9-fer.
I think this might be the last,
playing, Kieren. It's great.
I think this might be the last question potentially because we're coming up to the hour. But I can see the question where he's coming from, and so I'm going to ask it pretty much as it's come out. And he said, "Do you think being casual, i.e., the way you are relaxed and casual, do you think that sometimes send the wrong message, or do you think that attitude that you've got is what makes you quite successful?" That's a really good question.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, and I don't advise people to take up what I do because it's not right. So I've got plenty of players who are fidgety and like doing a thing. That's fine. I like to be more fluid. I also just like enjoy playing the game, and I want to smile and laugh and enjoy it. If I get out, I get out, but I'm not trying to get out. I'm working my hardest. So as soon as the bowler's running in, I'm focused. But in between that, I'm trying to stay loose, trying to stay casual. And I get, some people have said to me, "Oh, look at that arrogant bloke looking." It's fine, like, you can say that, but I'm doing what I can do to make myself feel the best I can feel. And some people, it's pushing their pads down, they're moving around and marking and touching the wicket. That's great. I want to stay loose. I want to keep everything in limbo. I play a lot of sort of tennis shots and racket shots to try and keep my wrists free. And it's the way I feel. And I also think it probably helps mentally as well if it stops anyone chatting to you as well. So no one sledges you anymore. If someone sledges you and you go back to them and you have a laugh with them, that ends there. They don't chat anymore. So it's great. So that's one good way. If you say nothing, you'll keep going at them. Like if I'm at slip and I'm chatting with someone, they're not reacting, I'll keep going at them. If they turn around and go, "Yeah, mate, you're all right, yeah, good chat," I'll stop because he's done. So a lot of it's mental for me and against them. So again, as I said, I don't recommend. I wouldn't say to a young cricketer, "Be really casual, be really chill and chat." I wouldn't recommend that at all. You've got to find your own way of doing it. That's my way. It's very unusual, but yeah, that's how I play. That's how I play all my sport. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, you see, I'm obviously less, not even an average cricketer, never have been. I'm a pretty woeful cricketer, but I love the sport. And I think Darryl will vouch for this. What very limited ability I have, I think I used to let myself down more than anything else because I was so agitated and het up and to beat myself up over everything. And I remember one game once. It was at our club President's Day, and the players on the president's side got in my head by ignoring me when I was out there batting. It literally didn't say a word, and I was expecting them to say loads. And I got really het up and hit one straight up in the air immediately. And I think that actually being relaxed is possibly a really good sort of piece of advice for young cricket. Not necessarily casual, like, as you say, everybody has their own character, but actually being relaxed and not worrying. There's always next week. Yes, you want to do as well as you can. I wish I'd had your ability, which I never had, maybe in my next life, but I actually wish I had that sort of attitude, because I think my issue, and it's carried it into umpiring as well, I beat myself up over things. I beat myself up over bad decisions, and Darryl knows I've made plenty of those over the years. And it's a really good piece of advice, actually, to realise that ultimately it is just a game, and yes, you can be your own character, but you don't need to be, particularly in light of what's going on now, putting everything in contact. You don't need to be sort of het up about what's going on. You're essentially playing a game that you love.
Yeah, and you're right. I think casual is actually the wrong. It may look casual, but it's not. I'm not being casual about the way I'm approaching my cricket.
Relaxed.
Look, I'm relaxed, and I'm keeping myself relaxed. There's nothing casual. I'm not casually out to bat. I'm going in. I'm trying to keep calm, having relaxed, have a chat with the keeper, have a chat with the slip, whatever, and then I'm focused. There's no that. Actually, funny you say that. I played against Oxford last year, and Perks, at one point, I was about 20-something, and Perks got everyone in and told everyone to shut up and not talk to me. So Calvin, who was giving me crap, Harvey, Freddie, Perks, they all just stopped talking to me, refused to talk to me. About two hours later, I was out because I was trying to have a chat, and no one would chat to me. And against Banbury as well, Clarkey, I think Clarkey's on it. Clarkey refused to talk to me. I was like, "Clarkey, what are you doing with mates? Have a chat with me." Wouldn't talk to me. A
couple of things that I remember from Darryl. Actually, I remember there's two things just to finish. I remember George Tate once trying his hardest to talk Darryl out when he was about 14 and chattering away to him, and Darryl you'll admit this, Darryl, you just completely blanked him, didn't you? He was talking to you, and you completely ignored him, which I thought was brilliant. I felt quite sorry for George because I think he was about 13 or 14, and I think he was genuinely just trying to be friendly. But you were just being your normal miserable self, weren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in the battle when I go out on that field of play. I am the world's worst, to be honest. I honestly, George, I mean this. I wish I had that persona a little bit myself, where I could be relaxed, because I have to work. I have always had to work quite hard at the game, so relaxing wasn't always. I had to concentrate 100%. But as I've got older, I've realised that it's not the be all and end all, and actually I am a lot more relaxed when I go out to play now. And it is. I still want to win. But I'm a lot better than I used to be. So
my thing is, things can always be worse. You're batting at 3 in the home counties of 2 at good standard cricket level. I'm having a great time with my mates. It's great. If you fail, it's frustrating. It's just as much anyone fails. But same in life. You can't just take everything too seriously. You've got to take everything with a pinch of salt. Look on the bright side of things. If you get nothing, okay, fine. We'll go into field next. Let's see what we can do now. And that's when I think it's a casual. Casual is not what I am. It may look it, but it's just keeping relaxed and not worrying too much about things. If you get a bad decision, you get a bad decision. What are you going to do about it? If you get good ball, you get ball. If you get yourself out, that's a different matter. And you can be angry at yourself. And people who I play with know that I can be furious when I get out. But yeah.
The other thing I was going to mention about another story that you told me, which always made me chuckle. Everybody knows and loves Wolverton Cricket Club, don't they? And I remember you telling me a story once where somebody that you didn't even know, you came out to, I'm not going to use the language clearly that was used, because I'm not quite as inappropriate as you can be at times, Darryl. But I remember you telling me that you came out to bat against Wolverton, and the wicketkeeper offered an expletive to you and questioned your ability in cricket and what sort of person you were. And I gather you turned around and just said, "You're a very good judge of character," and then just carried on your way, didn't you?
It did shut him up for the rest of the game, I have to say. He didn't know. He didn't come back on that one, to be fair, because he'd given me so much abuse beforehand that there was nothing left to give, actually.
You didn't do a full Tim Sutton.
Yeah.
No.
Move on.
George, just a couple of things. I always ask this question. I haven't asked it tonight. Superpower. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Be invisible.
Invisible. Ability. Yeah, absolutely. All day long. Why?
I don't know. I don't want a superpower. It's boring.
Boring. Move over.
I don't want to know. I just don't want a superpower. I'd rather just carry on.
George, a couple of things before as we've gone past the hour, I'm sort of careful of not going on too long. But there's a couple of things I wanted to say. It was obviously a prize tonight. You were donating, is that correct? To the winner who actually unmasked you, which we'll have to look back through. I think I know who it was. What is that prize?
It's a bottle of wine, bottle of Gewürztraminer from Spain.
Very nice too. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being our fourth masked cricketer, George. It's been entertaining and finding out a lot of information. I did notice one thing on your podcast, because I have watched a couple, listened and watched a couple. You have appeared in Vanity Fair, I believe, along with a good Dame Judi Dench, I believe, in the same category of wine. Best mate. Dame Judi. Excellent.
Always have been.
I do want to see one of those podcasts with you and Ted absolutely hammered. I think that would be absolute brilliant. I'd wait. That would be good. George, just to finish off, is there anything you want to say to people watching about lockdown, or just a piece of advice for the future, what would it be, do you think?
Just keep supporting your clubs. A lot of you may or may not know that clubs are suffering a lot at the moment, and people like the Aston Rowan boys, Josh, Leo, Chris, and the rest of the Rowan boys are doing a great job of raising money for the club, and the Andrew Strauss Foundation. I think Andrew Strauss is doing a Q&A. One of my pianists, Rich, is doing a piano set for them. A friend of ours is doing a wine thing for them as well. And it's a great initiative. I think any clubs out there keep coming out with these initiatives, because clubs need to survive. And some of the clubs out there who maybe don't have a huge bar or get by every year, they're going to have a lot of costs that you don't realise. And you may think I'll be fine, but you need to keep supporting them. So keep supporting them and stay in touch with them all. Hopefully we'll be in a good nick next year to have some good battles.
Brilliant. Thanks again, George. Thanks for doing this tonight. Really appreciate it. Hang in there. I'm gonna end the broadcast just by saying, just on that Just Giving page, guys, for the Lord Taverners and Oxfordshire Mind, if you have enjoyed this evening, please go on there and donate if you see fit. Kieren, thank you again for helping me professionally on the presenting side.
If I could just do one more thing, because I've never had the opportunity against George. So, George, you're out.
Oh, I'm never out, Kieren. What are you talking about?
And on that note, we'll say goodbye. Don't forget, live Saturday sports show on oxfordcityfc.com. Sorry. .co.uk, sorry, at 4:00 on Saturday. Please join us there. Bye for now. I won't say stay alert, just keep safe. Yeah. Cheerio.
Cheers.